great place for a ghost walk. Another true event that took place in the city of New Orleans and leads to great ghost stories has to do with a woman named Madame Laurie, who created a torture chamber in her mansion on Royal Street. Madame Delphine Laurie and her husband, Dr. Louis Laurie, bought the gorgeous mansion on Royal Street in 1831. They were considered pillars of New Orleans society at the time, and they entertained extravagantly. But there were rumors about Madame's cruelty to her slaves. Then came the day when she was attempting to whip a young maid with such a passionate vengeance that the poor girl raced to the balcony and leapt to her death to escape her mistress. Then came the fire. It's rumored that it was set by one of the cooks chained to the stove on purpose. A woman willing to burn to death rather than continue her life as it was in the house on Royal Street. Firemen, police, and the community soon learned why. Screams from within caused the men to break down the doors. It's said that the men who had come to know almost every human tragedy gagged, vomited, and had nightmares forever after what they discovered in the hidden garret. A horrendous odor of blood and death emitted from the room, and what was then seen was more than the imagination could bear. Dr. Laurie had practiced crude and barbaric medical experiments. Limbs had been amputated and reattached to bodies at odd angles and strange places. Bones had been broken and set so that human beings might appear as spiders, and even bizarre attempts at sex change operations had been performed. Body parts in jars lined shelves, and the dead hung from chains attached to the walls. As a mob gathered in the streets, stunned that the owners of the home could have been such horrid monsters, the Lauries slipped away through the courtyard. They were never apprehended. From the moment the horrid outrage was discovered, the Laurie mansion became known as a haunted house. When floorboards were ripped up years later, the bodies of dozens of people were discovered. Some had been buried alive. If there ever was a house that could be haunted by the tormented souls of those long dead, the Laurie mansion on Royal Street is certainly that place. It's believed that the mansion was recently bought by the actor Nicolas Cage, but it doesn't matter who owns the property. People walking by sometimes hear the agonized screams of the tortured dying slaves. They'll also hear the rattling of the chains, sometimes deep in the darkness of the night. Anyone interested in finding out more about our experiences in the beautiful city of New Orleans can look up the original heathergraham.com. Find out about coming to the Writers for New Orleans conference, and maybe you'll get a chance to commune with some of the authors from long ago, and you'll definitely get a chance to commune with a lot of great authors from today.